Y'all, it's me, Thea, or Thea the Great. No relation to Alexander. I'm in my reset era. Y'all know that. I'm starting over in my 30s. I'm 32, going to be 33 on February 21st. Damn, that's a lot of information for a bunch of strangers on the internet. Anyway, I am in bed right now. I have a 19-hour layover in Fort Lauderdale. With the help of ChatGPT, I've created a 100-part series for my reset era. And within this reset era, it's a reimagining of who I am. It's a renaissance of my own. Thank you, Rachel E. Cargill. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow me on TikTok. I only have 2 major platforms that I actually use. I use my Instagram, but not really. I'll start using it, but not right now. But if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's Thea the Great, just like YouTube. Anyway, ChatGPT helped me create 100 ideas for my YouTube series under the reset era. So this is video number 3. I have 3 bullet points that I want to go over. This video is going to be entitled Things I Had to Admit to Myself Before Changing. So I'm going to be 33 in 3 weeks, actually, February 21st. And I'm ready. I've been ready for a while, but it's time to take accountability for my actions. So the first bullet point goes, sometimes I am the bad guy. I had to be accountable for the way I made people feel and recognize that I may be a villain. Now, with that being said, I'm taking this with a grain of salt because I might be the villain in some people's story, but they are the clown in mine. With that being said, I know it sounds petty. I am aware that it sounds a little on the petty side. However, some people are just clowns and they take things too far and they expect you to stoop to their level with them. I am medicated. I am very medicated. I don't care about people's emotions the way that they want me to. I struggle with caring about my own emotions. So although I might be the bad guy in some people's story, in me starting over, I recognize that it's a step to even take accountability for that. To take accountability and be like, it's a step to even take accountability. I'm not even going to go over it much because what for? The deed has been done. If I hurt some people's feelings along the way, I apologize. But that's just where I was in that stage of my life. Bullet point number 2. In order for me to level up, to be the person of my dreams, I had to sit down and reflect on my actions. Was I as bad as I thought I was? I'm giving myself grace. And a few videos ago, I may have said that grace is sick of me, but I recognize that with giving myself grace, I'm also allowing myself to be human. I've made mistakes. I'm not a bad person. I'm just a person who has made mistakes. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to say that I'm ever perfect. I take criticism well, but only when you have the right to critique. In the past, I've had relationships with, like, platonic relationships with people who felt like because they have a voice, they can use it to criticize me. No, that's not how that works. You don't get to criticize me just because you can, and without me saying something back. That's not how life works. Because at the end of the day, you're not all knowing. At the end of the day, you barely know. You barely know anything. This is starting to sound a little defensive and combative, but it's my truth. Bullet point number 3. The routine I'm setting for myself was what was fucking with my mental health. I needed to take my meds every day. I needed to exercise. I needed to eat well. So the way that I was living, I wasn't exercising. I wasn't taking my medication every day, and I wasn't eating well. I was eating DoorDash every day. I was doing very self-destructive actions, as Dwayne would say. Very toxic lifestyle I was living. And it wasn't conducive to what I want to be in life. I want to be a woman who who eats well. I want to be a woman who jogs every day, who has a very strong body, very strong mind, not pliable. So I have a new routine, and it includes exercise. It includes cooking for myself more often, and it includes meditation and manifestation and journaling and positive self-talk, because I've been in the habit of not being kind to myself in the past, and I just don't like that. I don't like it, because when you're unkind to yourself, you continue to say things like, so back then I did not eat as well as I should have been eating, which is why I gained 50 pounds. I'm still losing the weight. It's been years of me trying to get this weight off of me, and it's because I haven't been consistent, which is another thing that was fucking with my routine. I wasn't exercising, I wasn't eating well, wasn't journaling, and I wasn't taking my medication as routinely as I should have been taking it. Now I take my meds every single day. Every single day. You can't, I took my meds just 10 minutes ago. An hour ago, actually. An hour and 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I lose track of time. Anyway, it looks like I didn't eat well if you look in the background. That's because I ran out of food in my lunchbox. I cook very well for myself now. I don't use as much flour, as much salty ingredients. I eat a shit ton of fruit and vegetables. I've always been a fruit and vegetable kind of girl, and I love a good protein source, but a fruit and vegetable is always going to take me further. And I exercise. I have a trainer who keeps me accountable. I feel like I've lost at least 15 pounds, but again, feelings. Yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. That's video number 3. And it was entitled Things I Had to Admit to Myself Before I Could Change. I had to admit that sometimes I am the villain in some people's stories. I had to reflect on my actions, and I had to change my routine for me to be a better version and reimagine my life. 2026 cannot be the same way 2025 was, or 2024, or 2023, or 2022. I was fat in all those years also. I don't want to be that way. I want to show up as the most authentic version of myself. And in order to be the most authentic version of myself, I had to reflect. I had to start journaling, and I had to start taking accountability for my actions. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love y'all lots. Thank you for watching.